Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Calabucas, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future. Not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. If you're listening on YouTube, I just said that. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I'd greatly appreciate it. That would be fantabuloso. So, today let's talk a little bit about risk, because risk is one of those things that I think we have as a race, as a human race, become really averse to. We never used to be so averse to risk because we realized that we couldn't learn anything new. We couldn't have breakthroughs unless we took risks. In fact, if you go back in time and look over all of the breakthroughs that the human race has completed, all of the breakthroughs that we've had in science and technology and physics and philosophy and almost in any human endeavor, there has been risk. No one ever moved forward. No one ever grew without risk. And what's happened for the last hundreds of years? In fact, this might be one of the reasons why. I think a while back somebody wrote a book saying about how all innovation is pretty much done because we've handled the low-hanging fruit, and now we're just going to sit on our laurels. What was the last major thing that was invented? Oh yeah, the jet engine. I think they said the jet engine was the last major thing that was invented. And since then, it's all been improvements. And the internet, that was invented. And then ever since then, it's all been improvements. We've never had anything hugely different happening. We haven't had huge innovations change our lives in huge ways. We haven't had breakthroughs. And maybe one of the reasons why we haven't had breakthroughs, maybe one of the reasons why, stepping back and looking at why the human race hasn't had that many breakthroughs in the last 50 plus years, is that we're becoming more and more risk averse. We don't want to take risks any longer. Whenever we hear about someone taking a risk and somebody failing and somebody, I don't know, getting hurt or losing their lives, we're shocked. It's almost like we've turned into helicopter parents, and we never want to see anyone ever take a risk again, even though we know that most of the breakthroughs of humanity were due to someone taking that leap of faith, taking that risk, blowing through that risk, and being able to come out on the other side with growth, something better. And it's not just the explorers. It's not just the people who are breaking through. It's all of us. Once we all become adverse to risk, then we don't want to do anything new. We don't want to do anything innovative. We don't want to do anything disruptive. And in fact, that's what happens over the last little while, especially with coronavirus. Coronavirus has made us even more risk averse than we ever have been. I mean, we were risk averse before all this, but now it's getting a little ridiculous. You have to understand, and I think you all know this, everyone knows that we need to take risks in order to innovate. We need to take risks in order to grow. We need to fall off a bike before we can learn to ride a bike. We all know this. Then why, oh why, are we so concerned with bubble wrapping everything and making sure that everyone is so safe when we know the growth and the breakthroughs will only come through risk-taking? Are we really okay with everyone being so safe that no one ever takes any more risks, and therefore there are never any more breakthroughs in society? There's never any more growth in society? We don't go any further as a society? Are we done? Is this it? Is this as far as the human race has progressed? I don't accept that, and neither should you. We all need to start taking risks again. We all need to move forward take risks, break through, come up with new ways of improving all of humanity, life for all of humanity. We need to take risks in order to have that happen. If we don't take risks, if we become more and more risk averse, then maybe this is the end of us. Maybe this is the end of us. I remember reading a story once about how the human race became so introspective and introverted that they simply decided that living in their metaverses, they wouldn't even think about leaving the planet. They wouldn't even think about exploring beyond Earth because they're so happy in this bubble on the Earth, in their metaverse, in their virtual reality, that they never wanted to leave the physical world. They never wanted to go back to the physical world. Is that the world that we want? Do we want humanity introverted and introspective inside of themselves? Or do we want the growth? Do we want the exploration? Do we want to reach for the stars? That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.